I'm saying 10th series, it means we are adding the starting 10th term. If I'm saying nth series, it means I'm adding starting nth term. But here we have infinite series. It means we are considering those sequence which are infinite or which goes to infinity. So first, let's see what are the portions that we have for this semester. Actually, this I was supposed to share in the first day itself, but I missed this part. So I'm sharing it now. So see, sequence of real number. No, this we have already finished, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So see, sequence of real number we have already finished. We have done with the definition of sequence, bounded sequence, limit of a sequence, convergent, divergent, oscillatory, monotonic sequence, and their property. Now we are on series of real numbers. Okay, so these portions we have to cover. So let's see what is the proper definition of series. So whenever you will define a series, you will always start with the term sequence. Since we have infinite series, so we are starting with infinite sequence. Let's suppose we have infinite sequence, and whenever you are saying sequence, make sure you will put this curly bracket, because this bracket is very important whenever the word sequence comes. So consider an infinite sequence an, then the infinite sum of the member of sequence is called infinite series. If we'll add all the elements or all the members of infinite sequence, then we will get infinite series. And we always, whenever we have series, we use this summation sign. See, if you have sequence, you will be using this curly bracket. Whenever we'll talk about series, you will be using the summation sign. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so wherever you have sequence, you'll use flower bracket or curly bracket. Wherever you have series, you will be using the summation sign. Let's suppose my sequence is 1 by n. Then my series will be, summation means I'm talking about series. Then my series will be 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus dot 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 plus 1 by n plus dot 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 infinite. So basically, series means adding up of the terms. See, if I'm saying S1, it means it has only first term and it is known as first partial sum. S2 means A1 plus A2, sum of starting two terms. It will be known as second partial sum. If we are adding starting three terms of sequence, then the sum will be known as third partial sum. If we will add nth term of a sequence, then that will be known as
Infinite.
nth term.
N partial
N partial
sums.
sum.
Very good. See, if we are adding nth term of a sequence, then it will be denoted by Sn and it will be known as nth partial sum. Thus, the sequence of this partial sum is called sequence of partial sum. Did you understand? So S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, these sums are known as sequence of partial sums. Because if my sequence is capital S, this will be first term, second term, third term, fourth term. So all these S will form a new sequence of partial sum. All of you understood till here? Tell me.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
there any doubt on this slide?
No, ma'am.
Gomti, did you understand? Gomti, please respond. No, did you understand, Gomti?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So let's move to nature of series. Like in the sequence we have done now, if my limit value is finite and unique, it will be convergent. If my limit value is infinite, either positive infinite or negative infinite, it will be divergent. If my sequence does not belongs to the category of convergent or divergent, then it will be oscillatory. Same concept is there with the series. In sequence, if you remember, we used to take limit of what in sequence? We used to take limit of
nth term.
nth term. Very good. In sequence, we used to take limit for nth term. First, we used to try to find out what is my nth term. Then only I was supposed to take limit for nth term. But in case of series, we will find Sn. It means sum of starting end term. And then we will take limit. Did you understand? Just this part you have to see. Rest these three parts you already know. Just you have to remember this part. So in series, whenever you are taking limit of a particular sequence, you have to use Sn. What do you mean by Sn?
Sum of n terms.
Starting
Sum
n
of-
terms.
Very good. Sum of starting end term. Starting end term you will take, you will add them and then write here, take the limit n tends to infinity, and whatever answer comes, if it is finite and unique, it will be convergent. If it is infinity, either plus infinity or minus infinity, it will be divergent. But if it has two values, plus minus, or plus infinity, minus infinity, or if it does not belong to either this category or this category, then this will be oscillatory series. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you understood this slide?
Yes, ma'am. Small.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's take some question. Question number 1. Determine the nature of the series. And your series is 1 by 1 into 2, 1 by 2 into 3, plus 1 by 3 into 4. Means they have already put plus, means they are already talking about a particular series. Now you tell me, how do we determine the nature of this series? What we are supposed to do?
First taking xn.
What we are supposed to do?
Yes, an nth partial sum we should take.
We should take nth partial term. It means we have to add starting nth term of this particular sequence. If you don't put plus sign, then it will be a sequence only. Then what we are supposed to do? We have to this plus this plus this plus this. We have to add till here. Okay. Now let's see how we are going to add this. So first, I'll write my an. What is my an? 1 by n into n plus 1. Then this can be written it like this. Did you understand till here? Did you understand?
The second step.
Yes,
How
Yes, ma'am.
minus one?
How many of you didn't understand the second step? Is there anyone who can explain how did we get second step from first step?
when we take LCM, we will get the first step or first step from that.
If you'll take LCM here, definitely you will get this. But my question is, from here, how will you get that step? From that step, you can get this step. But from this step, how will you get that step? Is there anyone who will answer me? From this step, how did
After
we get
taking LCM, it will be n plus 1 minus n, ma'am. So plus n and minus n get cancelled. So it will be 1 by n into n plus 1.
that you are telling is from this step to this step. If you have this step, then you can easily get this step. But what I'm asking is, if you have this step, how will you get this step? This one. Is there anyone who knows
Equal, like that only we splitted it, ma'am.
How did we split this? How do we get to know whether we have to put minus or plus?
If we put plus, then n and n won't get cancelled, then we will not get the same term.
So there's a proper way to do this. Is there anyone who know how to do this? This thing we have studied in our lower classes. I think 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Does anyone remember this part? Huh?
In the previous term, you're subtracting, ma'am. Nth term and nth previous term.
No, we are not subtracting anything. From this step, how did we get this step? Okay, I'll give you one hint. This thing we have studied in integration thing. In integration, sometimes we use this method.
Partial fraction.
Multiply and divide it by n.
No, multiply, divide.
Variable
It's a partial
Ma'am, it
fraction.
is partial fraction, ma'am. A by.
Good. So what we have actually done by partial fraction method, we have just split it. Does anyone from you remember what is partial fraction method?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
A
ma'am.
by 1 by n plus 1 by. Then we are finding the value of a and b and substituting. Then you'll get 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 1.
Good. So basically, we are doing partial. So whenever you will get series like this, where your nth term is denominator, it is the multiplication of some factor, then you have to apply partial fraction method so that you can split the factor into different terms. So I'll explain you how we have done and make sure all of you understand. If you didn't understand, ask me again. But make sure you understand this concept. So this is actually the rough work. This is not the part of the solution. That's why I have done it in the side. So whenever you will get question like this, 1 by n into n plus 1, as we have two factors, so we will get two constants, first constant, second constant. First factor will come under first constant, second factor will come under second constant. Then what we will do, we will take LCM here. So LCM will be n into n plus 1. This n plus 1 will be multiplying with a, and this n will be multiplying with b. And denominator we have multiplication of n and n plus 1. Now every time what you will get is both the denominator will be same. So this denominator and this denominator will get cancelled out. So you will get 1 is equals to an plus a plus bn. Now after this, what you have to do, you have to take n common. Whatever variable you have, you will take that variable common. So one variable is here, another variable n is here. So you will take n common. So you will get 1 is equals to a plus b into n plus a. Now what you will do? You will compare the coefficients. Now what is the
But
coefficient?
we don't do like this, ma'am. Like we'll write like this and then we'll put n is equal to 0 and n is equal to 1, like that we will put and we'll find the answer.
So that will cancel out one terms.
Anything is fine, however you do. But I'm just explaining it to those who didn't understand. Those who know, they can do it by any way you want to do, because this is the rough work. This is not the part of the solution. You should know how it goes. Okay. You can do it by any way. If you'll put n is equals to 0, from here itself, you can start substituting different values of n. Accordingly, you will get the value of your constant. We basically use this method when we have two constants, not more than two. And in this chapter, we will get very simple terms. So I think this method will go. So I'm just teaching to those students who really don't know what is partial fraction. Okay, so others, if you know, you can apply any method, no problem, because this is not the part of the solution. This is something which you are supposed to know. Okay. So now left hand side, there's no n. So on comparing the coefficient, we can say that a plus b is equals to 0 and A is equals to 1. Now, A plus B is equals to 0 means A is equals to minus B. So you'll get A as 1, B as minus A. Now, value of A, if you substitute here, you will get value of A as 1 and value of B as minus 1. Now, A and B value, you have to substitute here on the top. So you will get that 1 by n into n plus 1 is equals to 1 by n plus minus 1 by n plus 1. So minus will automatically come here. Hence, we got this 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 1. So basically, we have applied partial fraction method. You will apply partial fraction method only if you have factors in the denominator. If you don't have factor, then you are not going to use this method. All of you understood what I have just explained.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Gomti, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Rosemin sister, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Others, have you all understood? Sneha, did you understand?
Yes.
Sneha is there in your class only, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Sneha, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you understood this part, then afterwards it will be easy. So let's see what we have done. So we will write first an and then we will use partial fraction and we will get 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 1. Now I will write my terms. How will get first term? Substitute n as 1. If you'll substitute n as 1, what will you get? Tell me. If you'll substitute
1
n,
minus 1 by 2.
1
1
minus 1
minus,
by 2.
very good. And if you'll take LCM, you will get this. Will you get this thing? 1 by 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So my
ma'am.
A1, good. So my A1 is 1 minus 1 by 2. What will be my A2?
1 minus 1 by 3.
Huh?
No, 1 by 2 minus 1 by
2 minus 1 by
My A2 is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. What is my A3?
1 by 3 minus 1 by 4.
1 by 3 minus 1 by 4.
Who said 1 by 2? Who said A3 is 1 by 2? A3 is 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4. Then dot, 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 dot. Then what will be my AN? What will
1
be
by
my
n minus 1 by
1
n
by
plus
n
1.
1 by n minus 1 by
good? What we are supposed to do next?
n is equals to a1 plus a2 plus 3.
Very good. S1 is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus AN. Now we will substitute their values. If you'll see, some of the terms will get cancelled out. No? Minus 1 by 2 will get cancelled to 1, plus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 3 will get cancelled to plus 1 by 3 and so on. So what will be the answer for this? If you cancel out the term, what will you get at the end?
1 minus 1 by n plus 1.
Very good. Now what we are supposed, we got our SN. What we are supposed to do next? What to do next?
Take the limit, ma'am.
Good. Take the limit from both the sides as n tends to infinity. Substitute n tends to infinity on right hand side and tell me the answer. What is infinity plus 1?
Infinity.
Infinity. What is 1 by infinity?
0.
What is
0.
1? Good. What is 1 minus 0?
1.
1.
1.
1. So my series will be which type of series?
It is 1. It is convergent.
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 Very good. So Sn is equals to 1 and this value is finite and unique. Hence the series. So whenever we are saying series, no, make sure you will put the summation sign. Hence the series is convergent. Did you understand?